Hey, what's up? This is Chosen. Happy middle of the week Wednesday to you. This is going to be a Raid Shadow Legends video talking about how is Plarium noticing and having to change how they're doing some of these events in game. I will talk about that. We've got Valentine's packs and stuff to grade, and I will get you caught up on the Shard events going on, CVC, everything happening in Raid, the game, and the community so that you're caught up as we head into the middle of the week. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so like I said in the intro and the title of the video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the 8th anniversary event here in a little bit. But first, let's talk about everything going on like CVC and the OL Fusion and stuff to focus on. And then we'll get into that 8th event and why it's different than the other ones. So first of all, for the Shard rotation, we are going to be getting a 10x / guarantee event this weekend. We'll probably hear about it tomorrow morning. So in tomorrow morning's daily wrap-up video, I'll be able to talk about that for you, but it will not be a 2x because we just had 2x voids. So our next 2x event will be Ancient Shards starting next weekend in about 9 days from now. And for today, we have got a 10x shard event coinciding with CVC, and it's going to be for one of the best champions in the game in Marichka. Now, I'm lucky enough to have Marichka, and I've already done a video talking about her, so I'll try to remember to pop that up and link to it for you down below if you want to see the deep dive discussion on Marichka. Now, yesterday, if I was a super high spender, I would have went for the Terras 10x, but I can't keep up with these void events, so it just didn't make sense for me to do it, even though I would love to obviously have Marichka and Taras as a duo on my account. It just didn't make sense for me personally to pull for that, but a lot of the very high spenders are going to be pulling shards during the 10x events for this CVC going on this week. Then for the OL Fusion, we knew it was going to be kind of a calm week, and then things were really going to ramp up and get crazy this weekend when you've got the Spider, the Champ Training, the Classic Arena, and then the double Summon Rush here for this weekend for whatever event the Plarium decides to go forward with. So really not a whole lot to focus on here in the middle of the week. We're going to be doing the Spider Tournament, which is really the only thing live as of right now, and then we will also have the Champion Training starting tomorrow. And who is this showing up? What is the deal here? All right, you want to hang out with us? Okay, go ahead. But yeah, the OL Fusion stuff is really kind of just holding serve this week, and there really won't be anything too crazy. The make or break part of this fusion is obviously going to be that Summon Rush when we see what coincides and double dips with it to see hopefully it's worth pulling some shards and doing so, because we're going to need to get the 2 rares in that Summon Rush to keep pace. Usually they used to do it where there would be a rare and an epic. So if you got a lot of points, you could get an epic champion and be able to skip one of the iterations of rares, but they have abandoned that, and now it's just 2 rares instead of a rare and an epic. So it's going to be interesting to see what event is this weekend and how it actually relates to the double Summon Rush. And it is also day 2 of CVC, so we will not have another CVC for about 13 days. It'll be like the last day of February that they do a CVC. And there is something I wanted to talk about when you're doing a CVC, because it's a good opportunity to talk about some of the thought processes that go into managing your clan effectively. So as you can see right here, we are going to win this CVC match. We're going to end up at like 6 or 7 million, and they're probably going to end up at like 3.5 or 4 million or something. So what to do in this situation is really manage your points effectively. So the way that we do it in our clan, if you go to the clan rewards section, you can see that you have to get to 5.4 million to stay or to get all of the milestone rewards. So we have 30 people in our clan. You take 5.4 million and you divide it by 30, and you get 180,000 points per player. So that's how we come to our minimum of 180,000 points. But there is another thing that you want to make sure you're noting when you're trying to optimize your points. And that is making sure to pay attention to the tiers and how many points they are getting in those tiers. So if I go down to tier 5, we want to stay a tier 6 clan. We don't want to drop to tier 5. And you can see right here that it says the points of clans in tier 5 per CVC is 5.2 million to 7.2 million. So in that range is where you're going to be, possibly going into tier 5. So ideally, we would stay a little bit over 7 million in terms of the points that we get, and right now we are at 5.1. So you would say, like, as long as we get 5.4 million, we're good. But if we get 5.4 million, we're at risk of dropping into the lower tier, because that would put us in that range of clans that are in tier 5. So we do want to get enough points to stay up here in tier 6, and that's another thing to kind of consider when you're setting these minimums and you're getting points. But the point I wanted to make was, if we get like 9 million points in a CVC that's not even in doubt, then all we're doing is upping the requirement for making our next opponent more difficult. So the benefit versus what we're getting in return would really start to kind of cease. But we're still in the range where it would make sense for us to get points here in this CVC. It's just a couple things to keep in mind when you are managing your CVC points and kind of chatting with your teammates. Under the tournament tab, we had the Fire Night tournament come to a close, so I'll pop in here and scoop up my rewards. My camera always flickers when I load like tournaments and events. It's super weird that it does that. It's the only time it ever does that. It's only in Raid and only when I load like tournaments. But anyway, the Dragon tournament did a special video on this yesterday, talking about the team that I'm gonna dabble with, just getting up to 2100 points to scoop up the Void Shard. If you would like to see the full deep dive on the Dragon tournament, the Lizardmen are actually a pretty good faction for the Dragon. You've got, Venom Age, Draco, Rosin, Fushan, so some pretty solid champions in there. So, a lot of people in the player base are going to have some paths towards putting together a team that can at least be semi-successful there. We've got the Spider tournament going on. Now, this is going to be part of the OLA Fusion. You're going to need to get to 2250 by the weekend here to keep pace if you are going for OLA. And other than that, under the events tab, hey, look at that. You can't plan it any better. I want to talk about something in the 8th anniversary event, because I think it's at least semi-significant. So just in general, what we've been seeing with these starting champions path is no one really cares. Like I know for me, I've got a lot of resources. I'm kind of end game, and it's just not really intriguing to me to go down this path for 8th. But I think we're seeing Plarium start to notice that. And look at this. Plarium gives a legendary book now all of a sudden at the bottom to try and incentivize and increase the rewards here. They are thinking on the fly. They are noticing that us as a player base do not really care about these anniversary events. I mean, it's very simple. They could make this a lot of fun. They could have created like a legendary version of Aethel, and like Ultimate Aethel or something, whatever. Make it something fun, give her a really cool aesthetic and skin, and then reward you with the legendary version of Aethel and actually have it be a decent champion. And then also throw in like a legendary book and some stuff along the way. They could have made this a fun event, but just having the starting champion with a 1 or 2 star blessing and then 3 star, like, it's just not an incentive enough to get in there and really grind after it, given how much of a grind it takes and how many resources you need to spend to make it happen. But the good news is Plarium's at least noticing that, and they are adjusting it a little bit, and they're trying to kind of find a way to spice it up, and they've got the legendary book here on this one, which makes the Aethos Path event a little bit different. So let me know what you think about that, please. I'd like to hear if that incentivizes you to actually participate in the Aethos Path, and your thoughts on Plarium kind of noticing and adjusting these path events on the fly, and if it'll mean anything to you or not. Then tomorrow we've got the Champion Training event starting, and that'll be a good time to develop some of those rares that you've gotten. If you're going for the OLA Fusion, you can double dip it during then and level those rares up to level 30 and level 40 and all of that, and get ready to ascend into those epics so you can keep up with the OLA event requirements. Then as we head into the shop, it's actually a good thing that this popped up first. So this is what I'm talking about. If these path events don't mean anything to the player base, then the real crux of the issue for Plarium is they can't sell these coins. Like no one cares about purchasing these. Like if these were $5, I don't think I would buy them. Like if they were literally half price. So that's the problem. That's why they have to spice it up a little bit, and they're trying to find that optimal point where it would make sense to do so on selling these coins or getting people to actually value these events. We plugged these in yesterday. I think this is pretty similar to what we had yesterday, but for those that weren't around, I will plug it in again here. So let's pop up the good old offer calculator. We've got the 15, and then we've got 65 of the XP brews. and then we're going to do 6 of the void shards, and it grades out as a 1.19. So this one is above average. It's a really good offer for high spenders. For your medium to low spenders, it's borderline. It is void shards, which are nice, but it is only a 1.19, so it's not like a 1.5 or anything amazing. We also have the Aethel Power Pack. So let's see what the optimal way to do this is. So 20 energy refills grades out as 977, and then you've got 2800 energy is a little bit better. So let's go with the 2800 energy. Okay, and we can just do that 3 times. Oh, okay, so you do that twice, and then right here, so this would depend on your account. If you're low on XP banners, that's the obvious choice. I wouldn't take the 500k. The 500 multi-battles for mobile-only players, that could actually make sense and be nice for some of you. Tag Team Arena is amazing during CVC. That would be a lot of points, but not everybody does Tag Team Arena. If you're at a spot where you can farm the Great Hall, that's a lot of progression there. Six token refills. So this really depends. I think in terms of the, like, let's just do the 6 refills of Classic Arena. That might be the most, like, generally useful for the people that are still progressing. And then let's plug that in right here. Okay. And we get a 1346, so that's not going to be very good if we put in the price of 20. Yeah, it is a 0.67. So, and you can tell by the purchase limit of 3 up on the top right that it's not going to be amazing. This thing probably should have been $15. Would have been my recommendation. If it was $15, it would at least, you know, be close to something that would make sense for the medium to upper spenders. But the Aethel Power Pack is going to be a non-recommend from me. The 101% mini mix packs are back, and they are really good if you're a spender on raid. Oh, and then we also have the Valentine's pack, and it looks like we can plug this in a few different ways as well. So for the first one, there is no choice. For the second one, okay, so there's a little bit of a discussion here. We've got the 2 legendary tomes. So 2 legendary tomes grade out as 750, and 2 5-star chicken, 720. Okay, so, and then 8 of the 4 stars. Okay, so it would either be the 2 legendary tomes or the 5-star chicken. Maybe for endgame players, they would lean towards the books. Maybe for beginners that can't farm food effectively yet, they would lean towards the 5-star chicken. So it just kind of depends on your account. And then right here, again, if you're low on XP banners, you would take that. Otherwise, you would take the multi-battles or the energy, depending if you're like mobile only or if you have access to blue stacks and stuff like that. The most standard recommendation, I guess, would probably be the 300 energy. 300 comes out as $1.13. Yeah, I mean, the XP banners are going to grade out as better than that. Barely. Oh, it's 6 days actually. Okay, so yeah, I would probably go that route personally, just because I'm not stacked up because of a mistake I made earlier by wasting XP days. But anyway, then we plug this in and we get an offer that's taking shape here. So we do the 6 days of that, the 2 legendary tomes, and then the 6 void shards, and moment of truth. Oh, wait, is this one way better? Did I do something wrong here? So, oh, it's because the 6 voids. Yeah, the 6 voids is 1650. So that alone gets it close there. Okay, so this one's going to be a lot better. So we plug in the 20 and we get a 1.43. So this one here with Karato Fox Hunter on the artwork is going to be the best one out of like the random ones they're sending out today. Like the Aethel's Power Pack, the Valentine's Day pack, and the anniversary coins, like these special offers for today. The Valentine's Day pack right here that you're seeing on screen is going to be by far the best offer for anybody that's in like the medium to high spender tier. It's not quite a 1.5, so that's usually where it's like, hey, this is one of the better ones you're going to get. Like the mini mix pack, it always grades out closer to like that 2.0, even if you remove some of the stuff like the clan boss keys. Sorry, I'm rambling a lot here. You know me, I get to going 100 miles an hour on the offers. But anyway, the gist of the story is the best one of the special stuff today is the Valentine's Day pack, but it's not amazing. It's just decent compared to what we're typically seeing in game from Plarium. Other than that, we plugged this one in yesterday. And yeah, it wasn't anything amazing, especially because it's time gated over 5 days. So yeah, the new Valentine's Day pack is the one to kind of take note of and build according to you and your account. And recently, as of today, well, this one wasn't today, but as of today, both of them are reset. You have a new batch of clan quests that you need to scoop up for this week, and then also you have a new batch of Hydra keys that reset just today. So both of those things it's time to focus on and get done. And we are also approaching the last week of the Doom Tower, so maybe start kind of slowly focusing on some secret rooms type stuff, so you don't have to do like all 20 of them on the last day or anything like that. So okay, there we have it. I'm going to head on over to stream here in a little bit on the live section of this channel and hang out for the day 2 grind of CVC. And hopefully, would love to see you around if you'd like to pop in and say hi. But otherwise, remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Raid Shadow Legends content. I appreciate you. I'll see you soon in the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.